Hey everybody, Jay Smith here with Paul Fleming.
What's happening?
Another FishPod TV. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
Hey, we got Captain Skylar Wilks in with us tonight.
How we
Gonna
doing?
hang out and talk some fishing tonight. Real quick, let's do our sponsors. This episode of FishPod TV is brought to you by Coastal Wealth. Go to... You do it this time.
CoastalWealth.com.
CoastalWealth.com. I always forget if it's net or org.
I'm going to start putting
Why
them down.
don't you?
I should. Yes, just for you.
Or you could look up Mike Sullivan, Coastal Mike on Facebook. He'll take care of you. Check out Coastal Wealth. We are also brought to you by, look how professional this is. You
Like that? Yeah.
Danco Sports. Go to Danco, what is it? DancoSports.com. Yeah.
DancoSports.com.
And they got the 4th of July pliers out right now. If you go to their website and check it out.
Yeah, they got a special on them, I
They're
think.
sweet. Yeah, I think there's a pretty sweet special on it. Those are nice pliers.
They are. They're really good pliers.
Okay, who else we got?
Seamule.
Go to seamule.com. Check out your pier carts and wade carts. They got some deals going on right now. Check out seamule.com. That thing is great. You've probably, if you go to the Facebook page, you'll see some of the videos and pictures I took out at DeSoto when we were out there fishing. We had that thing loaded down for sound. We had about like 8 poles. Like it was, we had 4 people fishing that day. It was loaded down.
Loaded to the
yeah.
gills, huh?
So we went, and we're also brought to you by Angler Armory. Go to anglerarmory.com. Become a member. What is it? $65?
$65.
Kids are free.
Kids are free. Sign them up.
And you can get into winning stuff. What do they got?
Yeah, tomorrow is their drawing
for the cooler. I love that thing.
Cooler.
That thing's so dope.
That thing is pretty cool.
And they do really good giveaways. They do like Simrad and
they're
all
giving away
kinds of junk.
Simrads and action cameras, the Wasp action cameras. So
cool. Also by Atlas Track. We also have a story for Atlas Track today. What is it? It's Atlas Track.
AtlasTracksUSA.net.
Yep. And actually, there was a boat stolen that did not have an Atlas Track.
Yep.
So what is it? Go ahead, Paul.
It was actually stolen sometime between the 27th and 28th in the middle of the night. It's a 2007 Jupiter 29FS with twin 250 Yamahas. It was at a Tahiti beach in Elbow Cay, Bahamas. So definitely want to keep an eye out for that.
But you can notify the Hopetown Police for that, 262-367-2560.
We were talking about that earlier, and you know how if you don't have a tracker, the likelihood of you actually getting
we were
that
just
boat
talking
back.
to Skylar here about it just a second ago. You have a much higher chance of getting your boat back if you have this thing in there, and plus you can use it for other things too. If you go hiking out in the mountains or something, or wherever,
and you can track multiple devices. It tracks your whereabouts, and you know your family can track you while you're out on the boat. So it's definitely nice.
Also brought to you by GoPuck. Look, connected this week.
Yes.
GoPuck. Go to GoPuck.com for all your charging needs. This thing is awesome. I run my GoPro for 6 to 7 hours sometimes, and it still has a charge to charge my phone. So it's great stuff.
I appreciate you not throwing that at my Apple.
Yeah,
iPad.
you got the Seamule backpack up there for the GoPuck?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it's got the GoPuck on it. See?
Oh, look at you cross-promoting. Look at all that stuff.
So,
look at you go. We're also brought to you by Central Marine Yamaha. What is it? CentralMarine.net or .com? Yeah, we gotta write this down. Brutal.
You say that every time.
Why haven't you written it down for me? I'm the star here. The face.
Yes, the face. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, go to CentralMarine.com. They're right here in St. Pete.
Actually, talking to Captain James Lowe over the last couple of days. He actually just picked up his new Skeeter.
I know. I love that.
So,
what did he get? The 24 or the 21?
I think he's got the 24.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So I actually talked to him. We're gonna go and do a full feature on that boat now that he just got it all rigged up. So.
We're also brought to you by Gellux. Go to gellux.com. You can light up your boat and have a party zone like this. Look at that thing.
You know, I almost forgot what my boat looked like.
I know. You never go fishing.
Never go fishing anymore.
Anyways, go to gellux.com for that. We're also brought to you by Gills Apparel. Go to gillsapparel.com and check out all the... They got some new shirts.
Gills-Apparel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gills-apparel.com. And they got a bunch of cool that they just showed in the video right there. That breathe thing on the side.
It is
the vents.
Oh yeah. Summer, especially, it's been brutally hot the last couple of days, and it's just summertime is here. That's for sure.
So check that out. Who else we got here? Nobody. We're done. That was it. We got through it. All right, we're here with Skylar Wilks. What's up, Skylar?
How we doing, guys?
What's up, buddy? So you're a local captain here. You've been here for your whole life, pretty much, huh?
That's right.
Right here in Madeira Beach.
Yeah.
You're saying?
Grandparents lived here. Grew up over here on the beach.
Right on. So how long you been guiding for?
About a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Home waters, but you were saying you get out Keys and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. We're down in I was down in Boca about 2 weeks ago, going to do some tarpon fishing down there.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was a lot of fun.
Was it sweet?
Yeah, I pulled some up next to the boat, went offshore, got some kings, hit some of the closer wrecks and stuff. A lot of fun. And then I was fishing down Pine Island, Fort Myers area.
Right. You were just saying about how different it is down there compared to here.
Oh, so much different.
Just a whole different world down there, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the biggest difference that you noticed between the two?
I'd say fishing for tarpon down in Boca. They throw a lot of crabs right at the daisy chaining tarpon and stuff, which is a little different than we do here. A lot of cut thread fins, floating them through the pass, through the bridges, things like that. Open bail, just kind of letting it float with the current as much as you can. But yeah, that's the main thing I noticed was different between the two for sure.
I want to try and land one from land this year.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'm trying so hard, man. I haven't had much luck. I haven't got out much this year, but so you've been getting out a lot. Then you guys you've been doing pretty good this year. Then,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, it's great.
The weather has been awesome. Until lately, it's been raining a lot lately, but
yeah, it has been.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago we had a pretty long stint not being able to do too much fishing, but it cleared up a bit and it's beautiful now. It's definitely heating up though.
Right. So have you been out the past couple weeks here at all?
Yeah, definitely have.
What have you been going after?
A lot of redfish, a lot of snook. The snook have changed a little bit now that it's summertime. They're spawning.
I noticed a lot on the beach. There was a lot in the passes right by the beach and everything last time I was out.
Definitely.
Is that where you're hitting, or are you back and back?
No, a lot of males, a lot of females together in the passes. A lot of the deeper water. When they're not making babies, they're trying to eat.
They're trying to eat,
for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. So a lot of people have been catching them a lot deeper in the passes right now. Not so much up on the flats and things like that. But if you have some good tidal movement and things like that, got some bait and structure, you can find them.
You've been doing a lot of live bait, or do you use lures a lot?
I mean, I switch it up. It really depends. A lot taking clients out and stuff. It's a lot more interactive, throwing live bait and things like that. A lot more hookups, but some people love throwing artificials, and I do too.
Yeah, that's my thing. I kind of like. You kind of probably have a couple different kinds of clients. You probably have like
definitely
Joe Weekend, and then you're probably kind of glad when you see the guy that knows what he wants.
Yeah,
when you go
definitely.
Out.
There are people who are just looking to get a rod bent. They want to catch anything, and they just want to have action.
Yeah.
Then you have guys that have been fishing for a while. They like live bait, but they want to target fish for with artificials and things like that.
It's a constant war I have with people when I'm on boats and stuff.
Yeah,
it was like
I love to lure fish.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on.
These guys, you can't catch big fish on lures. I'm like,
all the time.
But I do all the time. What are you talking about?
No, definitely. There's there are ways to do it and ways to do it better and things like that.
Yeah. Do you have a preference? Fish, baits, kind of stuff.
I mean, I throw a lot of soft plastics.
Yeah.
I really enjoy, paddle tails, things like that. Jerk baits.
What's working right now for the snook and the reds and everything?
I really like these Houdini color. It's like a reddish black with a darker. I mean, I always, everyone says.
Is it the Slayer?
That's right. Everyone always says, match the hatch. So
sure.
You're seeing a lot of these smaller.
Do you think color? I always get different answers from different people, but do you think color makes a difference?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I was talking to a guide over. Let's see, it would have been in the winter, so it was like over Christmas break time, and he pointed me towards these Little Johns, bright pink, and I thought, no way. And he said, yeah, he said he buys out the packs of these pink stick baits, and he says trout, redfish, everything. He said kills them, and I was like, I'm not a big fan of these crazy colors. I like to, play it safe, play it with what they're eating, what they're after. They're not seeing anything unnatural.
Right.
But he said they kill them in the winter. So I'm assuming they're just more lethargic. So when they
something to catch their attention.
Yeah, something to catch their attention.
Exactly.
You hit some good sized black drum here too, just the other day, right?
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. We were actually out, catching redfish and snook, and went, under a bridge. We look over and just these waving tails, huge black drum. There were probably 10 of them, and so we couldn't pass it up. Luckily, we had 2 tarpon sticks on board, so we had some heavier rods to get after them. And yeah, we happened to have some crabs on board, and we flicked them out there. We had one on a sinker, sent that to the bottom, got picked up immediately. I was able to kind of free line one with a little sinker on it and a little split shot. and he smashed it too. So we doubled
That's
up on these
awesome,
two
man.
That's
black
pretty
drum.
cool. Yeah,
That's nice.
It's always nice to have a good variety of tackle and gear, so that you're able to switch it up at an instant. You know?
Definitely, especially taking trips and stuff. I try to keep a buffet on board.
Yeah,
I really
you kind
do.
of want to have your options open.
I've taken people to spots where days before all they ate were shrimp. We threw live baits, threw artificial, we threw shrimp, we threw them on popping corks, things like that, and all they picked up were shrimp. None of the greenbacks, none of the pilchards, things like that. And then a couple days later, near the same spot, didn't touch the shrimp, but killed the
They want what they
bait.
want sometimes.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how they get finicky like that.
No
It's weird.
rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
That's always why I have an array there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've gone out strictly with never didn't stop in the morning and get bait or anything. Just went out artificial, and I mean, sitting there with schools of redfish that just coming through, and you bounce everything you've got in your boat off of them, and then literally go catch some bait, come back, and I've literally thrown live pilchers at them. Nothing. Taking it, cut it, put a piece of cut bait out there, and it instantaneously you got to hook up, and then you just catch them one after the other.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how they want just that one
certain
just,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it where, man, I remember one night I was on a big bunch of snook on this dock, and I'm trying everything, boom, 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 and I'd leave for a while. I'd leave them alone for a little bit, and I'd come back, and I'd go through everything. It was the last lure. The last one was finally the one that they wanted, man. I'm like, come on, man. Really 2 hours later, I finally get a good bite.
There's just so much that goes into it. I mean, I think a lot of times we overthink it.
Yeah.
But, if they're not eating, it could be a color, it could be the time, it could be even down to barometric pressure and crazy things like that.
Yep.
I love how sometimes you'll come up with your own theories. Art's good for that. Yeah. Art will come, man, they probably ate a lot last night, so they're not hungry anymore. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's clearly the case, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Some kind of conspiracy theory.
Barometric pressure has a lot to do with it, for sure.
Definitely. With these, when the highs roll in, the lows, things like that, it definitely changes their feeding pattern and, what they're used to. They, they feel the pressure and everything, so... it slows down when you got these storms
it's amazing. Right before a storm starts rolling in, you feel that temperature drop and that barometric pressure drops out. I mean, it's amazing how quick and active they get.
Yeah. What's funny is that's the time you should be leaving.
Yes, and then, and of course you're not because you're catching fish.
Next thing you know, you've got that nice picture with the big lightning bolt behind you.
I just posted a video about that. Actually, I was we were hitting a mangrove line and the storm is It was like on our way in. We had to stop to fish a little more, and this huge lemon shark was just cruising by, and we hooked into him. Like a half hour later, we're trying to beat the storm out of here and stuff. So,
me and Hans have gotten stuck before because we're kayaking. You get a little too far out there. We've been stuck on the island a couple of times, and you're just under a tarp going, oh, please don't kill me. Please don't let this be the end.
I'd be lying if I haven't tucked my Pathfinder into the mangroves for a couple storms.
Go up in the dunes or something.
Yep.
Get something else higher around you. That's
you can't quite do that offshore.
No, you're pretty much
all you can do is try and run around them. And
does that happen often? I mean,
we've run into. We had a tournament. As a matter of fact, it was the Suncoast last year. The spring one, we're running out, and I'm taking some videos, and it was the light was just sun was just coming up, and all of a sudden I turn around and look behind the boat, and I look up, and there's a water spout coming out of the top of the clouds, and I
ran into that a few times.
We're just literally coming into we're going out for the day. I mean, we're running out from our start, and I'm like, man, this is not the way to start the day. But
oh my God, hold on a second. Mike Burke says, I wish I could continue watching, but I don't think DOT would like it while I'm doing 80 in miles per hour in a semi.
Wow.
No, Mark, you can watch this later, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for watching,
sure.
though. And Manuel had said he knows a nice bridge where pink shad are working for snook. So it kind of correlates with what you were saying.
Yeah, we came across just a ton of glass minnows, and we were throwing, I was throwing topwater at the time. We switched to some larger pilchards, things like that wouldn't touch them. They were smashing these glass minnows. So, of course, I actually brought out something like this to throw.
I never leave without that one.
Yeah,
I always have that one.
That's a mirror lure, right?
Yeah.
Yep, sure is. Little smaller, like a suspending twitch bait.
Yeah.
And, just gets their
That's
eye.
kind of
that's a must-have in any tackle box for sure.
I do that after the top water is still a little too much, or if I can't use the top water.
Definitely, and it's just trying to cover all the water columns is definitely huge. Like I will immediately throw top water, maybe even not at the right times, but just top water strike is.
What do you use? What do you use for your search tool?
In which regard?
Like say maybe you go to a new area,
Okay.
and or tournament time, whatever you want to
Okay.
get through and find where the fish are. Are you a chum guy? Do you use a search tool? Do you,
Okay.
like a lot of guys will use a spoon to run across a quick area?
I keep a couple things loaded down. Gold spoon, can't go wrong. People have been doing it forever.
Yeah.
Gold spoons work. And then other than that, I try to have a soft plastic, something to, pop off the bottom. Something a little higher, maybe a swim bait, things like that. But just try to, find what depth they're looking for bait. If they're
change up your reel in and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Awesome.
All that kind of goes into it.
Okay, I thought he said something else.
Yep.
Yeah. Just a quick tip back on that. If you're going 80 miles an hour, no need. Don't
for
face
sure.
man.
For sure.
Jeez, man. Did we have anybody else in there? I know Manuel's.
Ronnie King just joined in. Ronnie, I
Nice.
hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Oh yeah, Ronnie is.
He
he's having some issues
he
there.
had some surgery this Wednesday, so
Man, that's a great picture of that rooster.
it is.
Oh, that was fun. That was down in Costa Rica a
Man,
couple
that's
years
that's
ago.
a bucket list
I
for
was gonna
me.
say that's a bucket list fish for
It
me.
was definitely a bucket list. And
How big was it?
we didn't even measure
No
him.
clue, yeah.
Honestly, the locals, they
They don't even care.
They literally put him in my hands. Like I, held him for a second and they let him go. That's like their
It's their resource.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
That's
get
like
it.
their national fish. It's like the face of Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Everyone's out for.
That's the first word that comes out of your mouth when you say, rooster fish. I gotta go to
Costa
Costa
Rica.
Rica.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one trip I'd love to do with my dad and go down and they've got boats you can stay on for a week, and you go out offshore for marlin and sails and stuff like that, and then they bring you in like 2 days for rooster fishing and stuff. So
I've heard for the offshore, it's not uncommon to have double digits for those marlin and
Oh, yeah,
swordfish
for sure.
and things.
Wow,
Like
that's
it's
sick.
unbelievable. But that was a lot of fun, and I'm not gonna lie, it was on top water.
Was it?
We were popping these.
How cool is that?
We
man?
were popping these topwater plugs that were probably the size of a Coke can with 2 treble hooks on them.
That's
And you're
crazy.
using everything, like just
making
these,
a bunch of noise and
these
disturbing the
massive
water.
rods. The captain's, keeping us off this reef. Waves are crashing over. You're throwing straight onto this reef and like just pulling it, like popping it off it, and smashed it, man. It was one of the coolest sights I've
That's
seen.
awesome. I watched
Yeah.
some guys catching them on shore, and they were doing the same thing, top waters. I don't know if they were as big as Coke
They
cans,
were
but
huge.
it was some decent sized lures, and it just that looks like a lot of fun, man. I definitely want to do that sometime.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah, right on.
You
So
got, Jacob Stevens says a lot of memories growing up with this and fishing with this captain. Never met someone who loved to fish more than Skylar.
yeah, you bet. If you become a captain, you better, man.
That's
That's
right.
it. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean you gotta get out there and go out in the conditions all the time. Whether you gotta go out and scout all the time. It's a lot. People don't realize how much work
Yeah.
goes into it.
It is. They think, we're out fishing and hanging out and stuff.
Yeah.
But, once it becomes a livelihood and once you're really doing it,
It really is a
full-time,
job.
It's a job. When you're out on the water, you're scouting new spots. You're seeing, fishing patterns. You're documenting it.
Yep.
What tide did you catch it at? What time? What's the weather like?
So you
What
keep
are they
you
eating?
keep a record,
log?
a
Yeah.
log for everything. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Definitely.
I keep telling myself I'm going to, and Instagram is kind of
Yeah.
a log. Fish brain, I use that sometimes when I actually get out fishing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those work out
That
good.
app actually works pretty good. If you got the paid version, the pro version,
Mhm.
that's really nice because it really kind of you can actually go back a year from now
And see all the
and
weather
see what
patterns,
you see what
everything,
you
yeah.
caught and what
You ever use it
times and
before?
everything else.
No.
Yeah, Fish Brain is actually a pretty good app
It
to
is.
use.
It's a great app.
And people always think you gotta give away your spots and stuff, but you don't. You
No.
don't have to say where you were. But even if you don't post it, so everybody you can use it for a log. And what it does is it takes the time that picture was taken, and the area pulls the weather conditions for your area,
Okay.
and then puts that in the data. So
Yeah.
you'll have like a full
Water
record of
temperature.
everything.
Yeah, it logs what
It's
the
pretty
water
cool.
temperature. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to look into that.
You can
for
see what
sure.
other people have been catching in the area certain times of the year, what's working those times, what baits and stuff. Nobody's giving away their honey holes that I know of.
I know, I'll have
I'm
to-
always looking. But
I was gonna say, I'm sure.
You ever you ever get out there and people start phoning because they know you're a guide?
Yeah, well, not luckily, but it helps not having a wrapped.
No
boat.
wrap. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably
Huge.
huge.
But no, I would, I'd be open to it and all that. But right now it's not wrapped, so it's a little more undercover.
Yeah.
But I was out actually on a trip for Memorial Weekend, and it was an experience. I don't know. It was my first Memorial Weekend running trips. And
Oh man,
Yeah.
I feel you because
I was
actually-
out that day.
It
Yeah.
was miserable.
Yeah,
if I'm being honest.
I had to sea trial a boat and bring it around for work, and my dad took a ride with me, and man, it was was crazy trying to weave in and out of people.
Yeah.
I had jet skis doing donuts in the
Seriously.
middle of the channel, and
Yeah, I was out with Brian Taylor, and from Hook 'em Heavy Fishing, and we're over in Sarasota area, and we go back in this. It was early. It was 7:30, 8 o'clock, whatever, and we go back in this one area, and you can't really see out in the open. And we're there for a little bit. Everything dies out there, so we come out. And then as it opens up, I can see from the Skyway all the way to Egmont. And it was just boats everywhere. I was in awe. I have never seen anything like this in my life. I was like, just when you think that's it, you think, oh, man, this is, wow, I can't believe this can't get any worse. Guy with a parachute and the fan on the back comes in. Goes right on by Mike. I'm done, dude.
It's inevitable. Once you ask that question, it can't get any worse, or how could it get any worse? How can this be any worse than this? I'm like, we're never going to catch fish ever. And I'm like, oh, take me back to the dock. Yeah, that's one thing you never say.
We stuck it out there. We caught some fish that day. But
we had to go into hiding.
Yeah.
Once it was a mess catching bait that morning. It was crazy.
Yeah. Did you get out by the Skyway at all looking for bait? Because it was tough that day. Nobody was trying to get bait.
I was on the water early, and I ran over towards the Skyway, and I didn't even bother. I went.
It was
looked
lined
on the
up,
flat.
man.
It was lined, so I went.
And nobody was getting anything.
No.
We didn't even catch bait there. We ended up catching bait somewhere else. But
I ran to a flat. I also went over to towards Fort DeSoto Piers.
Yeah.
Over in the Gulf, and even off of it. And it was nuts. By the time I had thrown the net one time, I had 6 boats throwing 6-foot nets and circles around it, and it was just so I had to go find somewhere else. And then even for fishing spots, I went to a spot that isn't very populated. Don't ever see too many boats. I'm like, this will be a good safe bet. I get back there. It's like a party on this 100 feet of beach over there.
Jeez.
This ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's how it worked out for us that day too, and that's why I'm probably not going to go out this weekend. I don't know. We might go Sunday.
I think we're gonna try and go Sunday.
We'll see. But I was just like, man, there can't possibly be anybody back in this spot. And you get back there, it's like 5 people. You're like, oh my god, man, how did they even get back here? That guy's got a pontoon boat, man. It's sick. Are you going out this weekend?
I don't think so. I may get out one of the days, but it really is a mess. Luckily, 4th of July is on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I don't. You never know. It may be bad during the weekend. It may not. But
I know Memorial Day. It started that Friday.
Oh, it was all weekend.
Friday night. It was just like from then on. Yeah, because I was out 3 times that weekend, and every time I was like, why am I doing this? Why did I do this?
Yep. That's what I was saying.
That's crazy.
Roach has bait all over the flats, says Greg Leonard. There's Carolyn. What's up, Carolyn?
What's up, Carolyn?
Hey, real quick, we got a couple news stories that we were going to get into today that I thought were kind of interesting. What was that? Oh, well, that's your story. I'll let you bring that one in.
This was the
scallop fishing.
Yeah,
it's your story, buddy.
Yeah, words eluding.
Yep.
I'm taking my lead from you.
Yeah, I'm contagious.
So, that's it. Well,
you ever go scalloping?
I do. Went last year. It's a lot of fun.
You take people out for that?
I haven't. I may look into it this year. I've had a lot of people ask if I would take a trip up there, and I'd be open to it.
That's a pretty easy day. Well, not easy, but
I've done it once. I went up with a couple friends, and we stayed up at a campground, and then we rented a pontoon boat. We went out and went by Monkey Island and all those places, and we get out there. Never done it before. Nobody on the boat has ever done it before. So we go in this one spot. I'm going, okay, you know what? I'm going to go over here. There's nobody around and everything else. We must have swam around for 2 hours. Never saw anything. I had no idea what I was looking for or nothing, So finally I'm sitting there. We're like, all right, this is obviously clearly, there's nothing here. So we look out a little bit further offshore, and there's just like it just looked like an island, but it was all boats.
Boats everywhere.
So we ran out there and anchored up, and I started going around, and it's amazing. It's the scallops are kind of funny because you always have that one friend that always sells you out, and that's how scallop fishing really is. You go down, and you'll see one laying on the top of the grass, and you go down and you grab him, but then you stop and look all the way around, and as soon as you do that, you'll start seeing them all over the place. But they'll be down into the grass. But there's that one guy that'll sit up on top and go, "Hey, I'm over here."
Distract you from the herd.
Yeah, but it's funny because you go down and grab them, then all of a sudden you start seeing them all. So,
right. So that opens when? Tomorrow?
July 1st. Yep.
Tomorrow,
July 1st, and it shows the different areas. Crystal River is July 1st, and then there's what is that? The Gulf Counties, July 25th, and the Swanee area is June 16th.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm sure you can go to the my FWC and look up all that stuff.com. What's our next story we got? Okay, this was the one. Did we write down what that was from? Was that the Pensacola?
You looked it up. This is your story, bud.
You were supposed to put the. Remember, I said it like 5 times. You're supposed to put the title there of where it came from. Anyways,
I don't know.
It's not on there.
You pulled it from.
They're changing the limits for cobia and sheep's head. So the proposed draft rule on sheep's head would reduce the daily recreational bag limit from 15 to 5.
PJN.com.
PJN.com for this full story if you want this. And so that's the sheep head is going from 15 to 5, and it'll a 50 per vessel limit for recreational and commercial. So, ooh, man, those commercial guys are probably not going to be happy with that. Cobia has a proposed draft rule that would increase the minimum size from 33 to 38 inches at the fork. So that's a pretty big change there. And, that reduces the commercial trip limit from 2 per person to 1. Yikes. And reduce the recreational commercial vessel limit to 2 per vessel per day. What do you think about that? Mm-hmm. You like that, or are you against that? Not too good on that?
No,
you go offshore, you do cobia?
A little bit, not too much. We get them around the bay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of cobia out there. There's a lot of cobia. I don't know why. I don't know why we have to.
Sheep's head don't look like they're hurting either to me.
No.
You can't throw a rock out in the water without hitting a sheep's head in the teeth.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
Oh well, some more bad science. You can read that there at what was it again?
PNJ.
PNJ.com.
Yep.
Oh, you can even look at myfwc.com too. Probably get a less biased article. All right, moving on. We got our buddy
our last story of our buddy
Hai Trong down in Miami. He's a great peacock fisherman, and he started writing for the site. What was it? BD or Outdoors.
BD Outdoors. Yeah.
BD Outdoors. So you can check out his full article. But his first article that I've seen from there, this might not be his first one. This might.
That was the first one.
Is it the first one?
Yep.
Okay. Well, anyways, it's about non-native species down there in Miami. I always I made the mistake of calling them invasive, and he was like, no. They're non-native.
Non-native.
Actually, the peacock bass is the first introduced species program that actually worked.
Yeah.
It was there to annihilate some other species. You can read all about it and all about the fishery that they have down there, which is pretty cool.
It is. It's really fun down there.
When you can catch a peacock bass and then go catch a tarpon in the same day, it's a good day.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know?
Yeah, definitely check out Hai Trong Fishing.
Yep, HaiTrongFishing.com.
Sure.
He's a great guy. We went fishing with him. You can check out our pictures, the video, and podcast with Hai on FishPodNetwork.com. Yep. You ever get to do any freshwater fishing?
I do some freshwater fishing, not too much peacock fishing.
Have you ever gone down there for him?
I haven't, not to Miami.
Oh, man, it's a blast. It's pretty fun. Yeah, just opt to use the smaller setups, and it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a trip.
Lights and stuff.
It was so cool because you can see them down there. I guess they were pre-spawn, and I'd put my bait down there, and this thing would come up and puff it out of the way, or he'd slap it with the tail, and you just got to keep putting it in front of his face until he finally got mad enough to get it. Yeah. And then once they grabbed a hold, man, it was a ride. It was pretty cool. So,
and then actually our last one is
Fish Kids
2017.
That's all you, buddy.
Yeah, that's it, man. August 5th. We're rocking and rolling on that. Starting to get our sponsors in and our vendors. So August 5th, Saturday. Go to anglerarmory.com and you can register your kids for the tournament. And we're gonna start fishing at 9:30 with the kids. Mm-hmm. So, but we'll have all the great vendors out there. There's food and
a lot of good
beverage,
stuff this year too.
Stuff.
We've been talking about that a lot, and there's a lot of goodies coming in here.
Yeah, there's a ton of goodies. Ed Folsom or Ed Feldstadt from the Folsom Group sent us over a bunch of great items from Tsunami and Bimini Bay, and these kids always end up going home with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
I'm looking forward to that event. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and of course we're working with the Coast Guard again this year, so that to me, I mean, I was impressed with it, and I think that was my favorite part of the whole event.
Oh, you know how I like to do the role playing thing? Maybe we could get you out there and they can rescue you out of the water.
You know, it's funny.
We'll put you in some water wings.
It's funny because last year Ronnie goes, you know what? I'll volunteer to go, to get rescued, So, but it was definitely a great event. You
probably
can go
a good thing Ronnie didn't. He might have hurt him there.
I'm telling you, man. But yeah, you can go to the Hooked on Old School Fishing Team page and look at the pictures from last year's event. And then obviously you can see the event on the Hooked on Old School page and on the FishPod Network page as well.
Very cool. All right. So what's your fishing plans coming up here soon? You got anything coming up here soon?
Yep, got some trips coming up.
You going to be local?
Fishing, yep, going to be local.
What's your main target you think you're going out here for? Anything that pulls back?
It's probably going to be reds and snook.
Reds and snook.
And you can't get away from them. It heats up right now for the summer. Still good fishing, but, they go into hiding at the higher parts of the day. So, fish the mangrove lines really hard. Get the bait as close as you can to those mangrove lines. I hit a spot the other day, like 2 or 3 casts about a foot or 2 outside, and then I just went for it, slung one under there, and just got smashed. So
nice.
They're tucked way in there.
Seeking shade.
That's right. That's right.
So you just got to be thorough in the areas and just figure out where they're at. Yeah.
Even with the snook right now, down deep, you'll throw 10 times and they'll hit it on the 11th, and you said I didn't do anything different.
Right.
But something changed.
They just want it when they want it.
That's right.
Now you went to Boga Grande for tarpon fishing. Have you done any tarpon fishing here locally?
Yeah, so we have a lot of tarpon running right now. They've made their way up north, so there's a ton around us right now. People are picking them off, towards the Skyway, out at Egmont. It's no secret.
The normal places.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's right there at the 90-foot hole.
And that's why they have those names, because they are there.
Yeah, you can't get mad at somebody for talking about the Skyway.
Yeah, I'm not giving away anyone's honey hole. So that's no secret. But there's a lot of fish there. A lot of people are catching them on thread fins or past crabs, blue crabs, things like that. But just an open bail and floating them through the current seems to do the trick. So
all right, just try and find a place that's not too much pressure this weekend. And
that's right.
It's just gonna be hard. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. You got any tips on lures for the snook and reds for now?
Snook and reds. A lot of these that I was talking about.
So you get the Z-Man. Which one's the paddle tails?
Yep, paddle tails.
Kind of match the hatch.
That's right. So these this Houdini color seems to be working really well. I also have a similar one with the Slayers. Really like the Slayers. They hold together really well. You can catch multiple fish on them. The Z-Man you have to buy. Their patented hooks.
Sure. Just to get them on.
Of course, you'll be twisting it for hours if you do the twist lock. But they're a little
very tough baits though. I use them a lot.
Yeah, so, love them. They're super elastic, really stretchy, durable, work really well, swim well. So you can't go wrong with that. A lot of flounder, actually, aside from
have you noticed
snook
that?
And reds.
It seems like the flounder have really bounced back here really good.
Big flounder. You don't hear people say, "Oh, I'm going out today after flounder."
Yep, like targeting flounder. Yeah, exactly. And you can do that again.
And they are a fun fish to catch.
Yeah, I love them. They're delicious
and they're tasty.
It seems like every trip I go out, I catch flounder.
Definitely. Yeah, it's.
And that wasn't like that just not too long ago.
No, and they're huge. That's the thing is I've been catching some big flounder.
Yeah, some big doormats.
Bump it. Yeah, big doormats.
You've been getting them on the paddle tails a lot?
Yeah, bumping them off the bottom. The sandy areas, sandbars, things like that.
Right.
Find the drop-offs.
The edges.
Exactly. They're
very
they're in the potholes and things like that. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite fish to eat. I love them a lot.
That's the inshore Grand Slam. You got the flounder, the redfish, snook, trout. That's it. That's the inshore game right there.
Yep. I was close the last time I was out too. I had the trout and the snook, and I just couldn't get a red. I was so upset, man. They're little, but a slam's a slam, man.
That's just to be able to say you did it.
Right on. All right. Well, how can people follow you online? Do you have an Instagram?
So Instagram's going to be Inspired Fishing. That's the company, Inspired Fishing Charters. Website is inspiredfishing.net. I got some, pictures up there, videos from recent trips, things like that. You can book straight from the site and everything.
Yeah, it's a nice site. We've been playing the videos behind us a little bit there. It's a great Instagram feed too. We were showing it off a little bit. So
there's some cool videos. I was actually watching them scroll through while we were talking. One of them was from a couple guys in Miami, Real Hooking. They have a really cool Instagram page. I brought them up for a trip, and they did some really cool videos and things like that. They had a great time.
And they're on Instagram too, Real Hooking?
Yep, Real Hooking. They're great.
You got a phone number you want to put out for that, or you rather them go through the site?
Either way. So on the site, you can book straight from there. If you have any questions, it's on my card as well. My phone number is 813-310-6280. If you have any questions, any comments, anything like that, give me a call.
Right on. If you guys want to book a charter and get out and slam some fish,
that's right.
Get a hold of Skylar. It's funny how you guys met there.
That is.
Yeah, how it go? I'll let you go ahead and say.
Yeah, it was pretty neat actually. So I heard you guys talking about the fishing community and just networking and everything and how tight knit it is, and it really is that way. So I was, it was a bad day. I was taking the boat into the shop, one of those things, and Paul was the truck behind me when my tire blew. Pulled over. He pulled over with me, and lent me some of his tools, things like that. Had to go get a hub, and he had to take off. Left me his card, and told me to drop it off when I was done. So it was a pretty stand-up thing to do.
Yeah, it was funny because I literally was on my way back from Park Boulevard boat ramp. We had just launched a 47 Intrepid, and I'm coming back, and of course I see. From a distance, I can see the trailer wobbling, and I'm going, oh, man, he's not having a good day. And there's cars. I saw a couple cars that come right up on him. So I turned on my caution lights and everything else and pulled in behind him. And we were trying to get this tire off, and he had one lug nut.
That's how it goes.
That was seized onto the stud. And when you were trying to turn it, the stud was spinning, And so I had to get back to work. So I told him, I says, here, I says, I gave my business card, and I said, here, you're going to need this when your hub comes. So, just give me a ring later on. And it's funny because I told the guys at work, and they're going, oh, you're never going to see your stuff back. You're never going to see your stuff back. And I'm going, listen, I said, you know what? I'm not worried about it.
Karma is real, man.
I said,
karma is real.
It's true. But the fishing, when it gets to the fishing community, listen, there's obviously one or two bad apples out there.
Sure.
But you're going to get that with anything. But one thing I've learned in the fishing community, fishermen usually stick together. So.
Yeah. You know what it's like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean,
if you fish for any amount of time, you know what it's like to be stuck. So.
Yeah, we've been stranded on the side of the road a few times.
I thought that was a cool story. So, all right. Well, make sure you check out Skylar at his site. You can check out everything FishPod related on fishpodnetwork.com. We're going to have some new podcasts up. I did a couple with Paul. We have some people coming in, and we have iCast coming up. So we're going to have a lot of podcasts, a lot of new material coming out. Fishpodnetwork.com. Also, you can get the audio version of most of these. If it's real tournament heavy, I don't put it out as a podcast, but you can find that on Google Play, Stitcher, and iTunes. So make sure you check that out. Give us a like and subscribe.
Yep. Tune in next week. We have Coastal Mike and Tom Swick.
Yep, that's going to be a good one. They got the new boat wrap
Coastal
and
Pro Team.
Beautiful.
Tom Swick in the house. I'm glad he's feeling better too.
Yeah,
so we'll see them next week, and we'll see you all in the next one.
This episode of FishPod TV is brought to you by Coastal Wealth. Angler Armory, helping you navigate the nautical world. Sea Mule, world's best fishing carts. Danco Sports, the largest selection of pliers on the planet. GoPuck, wearable power. Gel-Lux, we set the mood and make your shores safer. Gills Apparel, breathe like a fish. Atlas Tracks, find your family, find your boat. Central Marine Yamaha, the fun starts here.